Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we have another Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2022 tiebreaker race here, Group P, between Dane, prieR, and breve. I'm Star here. My co-com Adler will be back in a moment, and looking forward to this one. This is a three-way tiebreak for at 4 and 2. These three runners all went 4 and 2 in groups. The fourth member of this group, Richard Redfield, went 0 and 6. So these guys are currently now racing for the to not lose to make it to brackets. How are you doing, Adelor?
Not too bad. I've been looking forward to this tiebreaker race, honestly, since I saw on the schedule that it was locked in, and this is the literal last race. It's pretty momentous actually, because we're both waiting on this race to conclude so we can get our brackets, know who we're actually facing for our first round, and this is a big deal. This Group P, like you said, the three-way tie for qualifying here. So we're advancing 2 runners. So yeah, like you said, don't lose and you're in here. Basically, it's going to be an exciting race.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes. Ambrosia's our move today. Want to discuss what that is?
Oh, Ambrosia, it's a community favorite. We'll start with a sword. It's a standard start, so we're going to go through the castle. We'll be in castle for about 6 minutes or so. Uncle at the very beginning is going to give us a hint as to where our boots are. So if those are somewhere interesting, like Eastern Palace or Desert or something, you might see some interesting early dips to try to go find those if they're possible to get. And the one other quirk of that is that every boss has a pool item on it. So bosses will never have keys or maps or compasses on them. They will always have something from the pool. Doesn't mean it's a good pool item. It might still just be like a bomb pack or a single rupee, but it's a pool item always.
So give our runners here a follow. Dane8373, sorry, prieR57, and breve, as well as my co-com Adler, and we've got a triple team of trackers today. Akuhai, Power Tomorrow, and Tal. Thank you for your work.
Got a nice full crew for this. It's good to see, yeah.
Always appreciated. They should be off pretty shortly, and we'll see what kind of mess we get today.
Normally in standard start, you get a weapon from Uncle, but since we start with a sword, he will just have a completely random item for us. Could still be a weapon, but not likely.
And let's see, what's our boots? Light World.
Okay. Light World. Well, that's ambiguous. That can be in a lot of places, actually. Except Death Mountain. Death Mountain is its own unique region, so as long as it's not on the mountain. And an Ether Medallion to start in the house.
I would have laughed if the boots was right there.
That is a Light World location. That's possible. There's a map check. We've got red
crystals, Hera and Eastern, and a regular pendant on desert.
Was that a regular or a green? I thought that was green.
Might have been green. I was not looking closely enough.
It'd be funny if all of our special prizes are in the Light World. That'd be goofy.
That would be. It was green. Thank you, Aku, for confirming. Yeah, we have ourselves also on the sprite node as Uncle gives us some money. We've got the vanilla sprite for Dane. That's actually the Santa sprite for prieR. It's not especially evident what that's supposed to be on the first 2 males. And then breve is playing the Dark Zelda sprite.
Got a bomb pack in the Uncle chest here, so they will not have to worry about farming for bombs, but just since it looks like the guards might be in the Hearts and Arrows pack, which is entirely useless for getting bombs.
Pretty much. And Allison rolled a seed since this as one of the tourney admins today, so blame Allison for Ambrosia.
Yep. If it's terrible in any way, you can yell at him about it. We are not involved in any way in the making of this seed ourselves.
Nope. We just showed up to commentate it.
We're just here to enjoy how good or bad it may end up being.
Yep.
All right, so prieR's got a little bit of a lead. Little few seconds ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Minor differences. Escape is basically just a matter of execution, and
another big 20 in the first chest here.
Reliable.
Yeah, like I said, we'll be in here about 6 minutes or so before all these runners are actually out of castle and then can decide on where they want to go next.
Why is breve screen black? That is a really good question. I do not know. Let's see. Going to ping somebody and see if switching scenes fixes something. breve is going through the escape, so you're not missing anything, but I am not sure why that's happening.
There's our first bottle in the third chest here, or the second chest, I'm sorry. So that's nice. That'll probably just send them all to Kakariko, to be honest. That's one more item we can get over there.
Okay, so that did not fix things. I'm trying to work out what did break.
prieR grabs a pot, goes for a pot with 4 slashes, pulls it off nicely.
Okay, there we go. Good old refresh. Just had to punch a button again. Something didn't click. Don't know why, but it's fixed now. Apologies. Good thing it's a standard, so we didn't miss anything of interest.
No. With all 3 of these going through the same sequence, there's nothing to really miss, yeah.
Yeah, chat, please yell at me if anything goofs again in the restream, as I am also doing the restream duties today. Looks like we got a bottle in the front of escape, was that?
Yeah. Or? Yeah, we had a bottle in the second chest, yes. That'll probably send all 3 of these over to Kakariko, because that's one more item you can get over there.
No, brief stream was fine. It was just something or another happened to the back end. I'm not sure what broke, but reselecting runners for the layout fixed it.
These are all just a few seconds apart per, with it just slightly getting out of the basement, and we'll be heading through the back, through the dark and the sewers with all the rats and the snakes. And we have still 5 more checks to come. 1 in Dark Cross, 3 in the back, and 1 finally in Sanctuary. One of those will be a map, so we still have 4 items to go.
And in case anyone is wondering, prieR is using the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest MSU. Both breve and Dane are playing with vanilla audio. Dane does also have a mic on.
Understandable. Sometimes you still like to be able to talk to your VOD or I guess to your chat, even if they're 10 minutes behind. So completely understandable.
It's always choice. We do like to have 1 or 2 sources of clean audio, but since we have 2, we didn't need all 3.
What's in Dark Cross? We've got 10 arrows. Woohoo!
Alright, not the most interesting escapes item-wise so far.
Yeah, really just the bottle. Like we have a couple of big 20s and a bottle. That's it so far. So nothing super exciting, but we'll start finding more stuff soon. It's guaranteed to happen.
I mean, they always need to find something sometime. Kinda needed to finish the game.
There are a few items we're going to need to finish, yeah. Those Light World boots might not even be required, actually, if Desert's just a pendant and we don't need to go there.
Yep.
Back of Escape is heart piece and 10 arrows, so the junk continues.
Yep. Ether and Bottle, the only items of any substance we've actually found so far.
And one last thing in Sanctuary here we'll get from prieR in just a few seconds. That'll complete our escape sequence. Think chest is another big 20. Well, imagine that. It's like there are 28 of them in the item pool, and they're scattered all over the place. So we got 1 runner heading west, another runner heading west, and is breve all going to yep, we're all heading west, of course. Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed to go to Kakariko, especially with the bottle. So like that's where your density is, and you've got 1 more check than usual there. Take a look at our probably tier 2 triple. That looks like useless. Yep, green rupees. And, more green rupees on bush crab.
Thanks, game. 2 more runners here going for the lumberjack. breve is skipping it.
I like this here because so the mentality. Ooh, there's a bow. Ooh, good stuff. So I like checking lumberjack in this sort of. There's a bug on a mushroom spot too. Lumberjack is really good here because this is effectively a group race, and you do not have to win this. You need to be top 1 or 2. Just don't lose this basically. So you can play a little more safely, not necessarily just going for like all the plays that get you the first place. You can be second place, and that's fine. So
you just don't want to lose.
Yeah, early lumberjack check without boots is seems honestly more fine than I would usually go for. And that book is going to get a couple of at least one of our runners to go immediately look at Ped. What do we have? A sword. Oh wow!
Well, they're not getting that.
Allison,
Probably.
what did you give us today?
Oh, come on.
Well, this is interesting. Oh, there's our Bombos at the hideout
Okay,
drop down. So we got 2 medallions
now
already.
we're getting stuff.
Tabby, this is a normal Ambrosia. Yeah, basically. Ambrosia, for all of its flaws and perks. Yeah, it sure is a mode.
It certainly is. So Sword on Pad is good to know you're not getting that unless the siege goes so poorly you end up doing all your pendant dungeons anyway, which does happen sometimes.
Dane's gonna look at that as well. I think breve is walking like the actually one. I think they all 3 looked at that because why not when you get an early book? So they all know about that.
Pretty much. I mean, you're right there.
That's your best time to do it. You may as well. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get prieR into blinds and breve dropping into the well. So we're going to get a fast collection, 10 items here. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, I'll look at blinds so you can, if you want to look at the well, so we don't miss things.
Not missing anything yet.
No, oh, there's a moon pearl on blind sets. Like,
Well was just stuff. Nothing exciting there.
no, and the final blind set is more nothing. So
10 checks, we get 1 item, a pearl. I mean, it's an important item, but, 1 item.
Yeah, it's 1 item out of 10 checks. Not exactly inspiring. So, double blind set for Dane and breve as prieR heads for the well. And then we'll see what else there is. There are still several other checks left. We've got the chicken hut, we've got sick kid with that bottle, we've got back at the bar, we can peek the library, the race game as well, pretty much all in this area. No sign of Darkhold access though, besides that moon portal, which is a bit concerning. Need either 2 gloves, or a hammer and 1 glove, or a lamp and a cape or a second sword. Where I get access.
Yeah, having 1 sword already, but one of them's on Ped makes me think this might not be an Agassiz, but I guess we'll find out. There are 2 other swords that can be found. We'll see.
Chicken hut, just some more just another heart piece, sorry. And going to go check sick kid now here.
We're just a few seconds in the lead. We get more money off of sick kid. Got his allowance.
Yep.
So it's pretty nice of him. He realizes he's probably going to be bedridden for a few days. Can't even go spend it. So it's like, here, you can use this. There we stole the savings from the back of the tavern. Jeez.
I guess that's their profits for the day.
I hope. I mean, if that's their profits for the day, man, they are doing well.
Or profits of some amount of time, at least. That is indeed a green pendant on desert, and some more money on the library.
Yeah, another big 20 there. So really just the moon pearl in the Kakariko area. Well, we got 1 more to look at for the maze race here, but yeah, not a whole lot doing.
No, Kek area's got... Lost Woods had things, but Kek and the 2 checks just south of it had 1 item out of, 14 or 15 checks?
Yeah, basically.
Very, very bad return on investment for time. I mean, I guess it most of the way to Zora money.
We do have that, almost. Upper 400s for all of these, so it's not that far away. Just a couple more big 20s or a 50 will do it.
Yep.
So speaking of that 50, there we go. That's Zora money. And with a pearl, you could see a fake flipper to that area.
You were a smidge ahead of me. If you could hit your refresh button, I'll hit a few refreshes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I think breve's stream is a little bit laggy, which is
there's a little bit of stuttering. Yeah, we'll get synchronized here.
That's on his end if it buffers for restream, which breaks our thing a little bit sometimes. So we'll do a periodic resync. It's Ambrosia today, we'll rank. Just another heart piece underwater. Dane just slightly behind our other 2 runners. And it's going to actually do a bit of divergence here, heading east to eastern instead of going to
Okay.
South Shore.
I like this actually. You do have 3 checks over here at the in Saw's closet. One of those could be those boots. We know are in the light world.
Second bottle on Lake Island.
All right, Mini Moldarm Cave, Boomerang, Big 20, Half Magic. That's nice to see. Big 50 rupees and another heart piece.
We've got 2 medallions, 2 bottles. We know of 2 bottles, and we know of a second sword, and there's not much else coming up.
It's still really sparse on actual stuff. Yeah, I mean the 2 medallions with half magic. That's kind of nice. That does give you like some usability for them. You can actually kind of rely on those for combat situations a little bit. So.
The tiebreaker is the same card system that's been used for all settings picks. Which, if you could explain that a bit.
So yeah, every time the card system relies on your last 5 races, the last 5 modes that you played to like build the deck that it gets picked from. Solace Closet, a whole lot of nothing as well. Geez, I believe we just combined all 3 of them for this one, didn't we? And then just rolled Ambrosia with what was left. Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe 2 of them have played a lot of Key Sanity so recently, so hence this. Oh, I love Nice Rod Key. That's new, actually. Finally, something of interest.
An actual item, yeah.
An actual usable item, I should add. That's not a medallion, which they don't have any use for, or a moon pearl, which they also don't really have use for at the moment.
Yeah, that puts us now just, 1 item away from Dark World access, needing another glove or a hammer. So we're going to see prieR go for the fake flipper here, and pulls it off nicely. Do a little bit of swimming around and get some stuff out of logic here.
Exactly. I have disabled sync on breve's then, so his continued buffering doesn't completely whack out the restream. We've got Zora, Agina, and Desert is available. We do have a book. There is also Out of Logic Death Mountain as far as things to do.
Alright, what does our camper under the bridge have? 10 arrows. Nothing exciting there. Yeah, we could see a desert play. Desert itself can't have the boots because it's a dungeon. If the boots are in a dungeon, Uncle will tell us that dungeon specifically. We know it's in Light World, so that is anywhere that's out on the Light Overworld that is not in a dungeon, and also not on Death Mountain. Could be a tablet. Actually, one of the worst places, I think it would be a tablet, and we know we'll find a second sword for basically ever.
Pretty much. It's very possible these guys get to GT with only fighter sword. Boots can be Agina. I think boots can be Desert Ledge. Yeah,
Desert Ledge is overworld visible item, so it could be Desert Ledge. We could be here in Waterfall Cave. prieR's going to get here first, do a little in and out and in to actually achieve walking state, because the game gets confused when you have Moon Pearl and says, oh, okay, that's more important than checking for whether you're swimming. There's an out of logic flute.
And so arrows. Alright, flute's good. Functionally, it's out of logic and functionally does nothing new since you already have mountain. Equally out of logic mountain access with the glove and no lamp.
Yeah. We get a free green refill. breve went ahead and took advantage of that. So a little green potion for... I mean, we already are half magic and medallions. So, I mean, do you need more magic power at this point? Yeah.
Boots could also be mirror locked, yep. They could be here on Zora, that would be fun.
If they're on Zora, they're in logic because you have a glove.
They are. And nope. Although he is giving better return than normal, at least, he's only giving negative 40% instead of negative 99.5%.
Yeah, only 40% loss. That's very generous compared to usual, yeah. Like how breve went all the way up into Zora to say hi. I didn't know he could go that far north, actually.
No, I've seen Zora give negative 99.8% return, giving you a single green rupee.
The worst, yep. Alright, and Dane just behind these two also making this play. Yeah, it's a pretty easy play. When you've got the money and an early pearl, you may as well see if you get something spicy out of your sequence break. And then the flute is nice. It's really early mobility. Again, out of logic, so you don't want to rely on that too heavily for trying to find your progression, but it's really nice early mobility. That gets you back to the desert area much easier than having to walk there.
For sure.
Which with that early book, I think we're looking at a desert play, honestly, because it's kind of like when you get a super early book, it's saying like, what's in desert?
Really is, especially none of these guys. These guys might be a little hesitant to go eastern right now, knowing that one book stuck on that lumberjack and having no clue where the other's gone off to for now.
Yeah. I got one of them already checked the closet and just let, well, these are the light world checks, where the boots can be. They're looking for those. So I think, let's see. You're heading, yeah, prieR's going to head to 5 and probably do that same bit. Yeah. And breve is interested in the mountain.
So we're going to get a bit of divergence here, see what's going on. Playa might go into eastern at this point, even though starting to run pretty hard out of checks.
Yeah, we didn't just have so little progression. It's gonna bottleneck really fast here, and we're gonna have to see which one of these three actually finds the actual path first. It's not going to be breve finding the logical path, because again, we don't have logical mountain access yet. We would need a lamp for that.
We would.
Lamp or flippers? Yeah.
I was going to say flippers. And
either way.
They save the old man and gets out of town as they see $20 on Desert Ledge. It's not that.
Oh, still could be Agina with the boots. Haven't seen these three look at that yet, but a flute, again, does let you get to Agina easier. So it's less common to see Agina left hanging for a while when there's an early flute.
Mm-hmm. Steve is a side note, the only one of our runners who does not know of that lumberjack bow yet, I believe.
Yeah, I really hope that doesn't end up being dangerous for him.
Yeah, that could be a problem, honestly. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, we saw a tiebreaker just yesterday in the main tournament. You decided basically on a lumberjack check. The knowledge of a necessary Quake medallion there was enough of an advantage for one runner to basically take the game.
Yep, Desert bought Big Key on the torch, so that they're not doing land most yet, even if they do find a fire source. Which they don't, not here at least. That's a small key, so can do right side.
And it'll be annoying as if you get out of desert here and the boots are in Agina's cave and you're like, I don't want to go back into desert now.
Yeah. First item in Eastern, just a shield. There's the map. breve, and Dane has rescued the old man here. And oh, of course, it's Map Encompass on right side of Desert and Ambrosia, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one item you're going to find in the front, and in this case, it is indeed in the big chest. So we get nothing out of the desert trip, unfortunately. We get to go to Agina, and that's it.
Yep.
But, I mean, early book, yeah, I don't blame him for going for it, because he's thinking, like, what does the book mean having being this early? Apparently nothing.
Mm-hmm. As a side note, Playa here has found both items in both front items in Eastern already. Shield and some bombs, so that was not the progression.
Yeah, he is still going to do the work of finding the big key, of course, so that when you come back later, you can just go straight to the boss.
Yeah, big key is vanilla today, and Agina giving us our mitts, finally.
There's the second. There's our Dark World access. It's a Sphere 1 glove, you know, just hanging out Agina.
I was going to say, though, that with Playa finding a Jackal in Eastern, that had to be our literal last location in Logic.
It sure was, yeah.
Out of Logic. I think Spectral Ride was not the only other thing left to do.
Alright, so that gives breve our first shot at getting some more checks here, and he's going to go right to the Mire area. I like this. You got an early flute and myths. You can just go get a couple quick items here to your Dark World map check. We got pendants on Mire and Pod, and we'll get a look at Mire's medallion as well.
There's the big key for Playa. He knows that the big chest is a dungeon item that is, of course, the medallion they don't have on Mire.
Is that a Quake? Okay, of course it was. Well, I mean,
not necessarily a bad thing, because they don't need it to go in there necessarily. Yeah,
pendant Mire, and you don't have the medallion for it. You're kind of like, you're okay with that, actually.
Yeah. I kind of hope you never see it, in fact, assuming TR is, not that, since that means you never need to think about Mire. Pod just is kind of annoying, because we know we'll need to do Eastern eventually. I think breve's going to head for the Eastern area first, and is going to get his load of disappointment.
Now prieR's also getting into desert. We're going to see a lot of retracing here because they have to basically. I mean, they're all pretty much going to last location in that glove. I mean, it's a Gina. It's hard not to.
It really is. If you're just presumably doing a bit of light world cleanup before going to dark world. VXR boots are in the light world. It's someplace we haven't seen yet, which is kind of concerning at the rate we're going. They're not on the pedestal at least. That's where one of their swords went off to, and it's not the lumberjacks, that's a bow.
At this point, I think the only thing it can be is Bombo's tablet.
Both tablets, Graveyard Ledge, K45.
Oh, right, we got those, and Magic Bat as well, potentially. Okay, yeah, there's a few more than that.
Do the Smiths and Purple Chest count as light or dark? I can never remember those two.
I think those are both light as well because you require the item in the light world, probably. Yeah. There's a few more. I feel like the worst location's still probably Bombo's tablet or Purple Chest, I guess. Those are both bad.
Bombo's tablet's extra complicated because of a sword on pad.
Yeah. Nothing interesting in chest game. Got breve continuing to lead the way in new information. And prieR is about to get his second glove and being like, of course it's here.
Yeah, he knew it had to be there. He's seen everything else there is to be done at this point. As $20 in the brewery.
breve opting not to do anything in Thieves Town just yet. Probably thinking I don't want to go in here and like mostly clear it without the hammer, which is a pretty reasonable play to make.
May as well go do these checks here first. Stumpy and the game basically at the moment. Play are going to do the minor area, and Dane is heading on out.
Yeah,
I'm feeling like hiking the Spectral Rock with no items, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Having 2 gloves for your Dark World access means you have to start at Village, so it's pretty common to see like you might want to just kind of skip these for a bit and go straight towards Hype Cave, basically take that whole route. With an early flute, that's really not bad because you can get back to Village pretty quickly with 2 gloves. It's not hard to get back to these anytime you want. Oh, Dane's going to pick up the frog and do a save and quit and put off the rest of the South Dark World trip. Interesting. I guess isn't bad actually because now you can just take purple with you. You're effectively isolating like K45, but that's not terrible. And prieR now is getting into Dark World. Going to actually go for our first look at the front of Skull Woods. I like this. I'm a firm advocate of never skip Skullfront, regardless of what the dungeon prize is. It is in Ambrosia. You could argue a little harder towards it because you know there is only 1 item in the front. So without a fire rod, you're not getting as much value to Skull Woods. But I still like doing it. It's just there's Skull Woods just has stuff a lot.
It does, especially because it is. Unless you did aggro for Dark World access, usually Skullwood's front is available from the second you get to Dark World.
Is effectively overworld checks, yeah. And breve is now back over here, having dropped off the Smith, and is going to also go into the front of Skull. So we're right behind prieR. And Dane is now at his last location, says, what's here? Is it going to be a glove? It sure is a glove. Okay, no item in the front of Skull Woods just yet. These 2 are still looking. prieR finds the compass. Has the 1 key from the middle, so we're going to head over to the left side of the front. Prison has the map. We are still looking for that 1 item. And Dane is now in the Dark World, going to do his map check, get those prizes figured out, and heading down into the village. Ooh, there's our item in Skull Woods. That's a hook shot in Pop Prison, or not Pop Prison, a pinball room. Very nice find.
That is a very nice find indeed. That does give them some more things to do as well.
And prieR says, I'm going to go to the mountain and see what that turns into.
And hey, Allison, well, you're older than Ambrose in this scene as an admin, so, in actuality, though, thanks to the Prime sub, 30 months, thanks to the support, Allison here, one of the admins of this tournament. Thanks for all your work.
Dane has decided to want to go ahead and check out the front of Thieves Town, so we've got some more information coming here. And breve is having a little bit of trouble in the pinball room, but about to get his hook shot. There it is. Worth noting that our mountain access is still at a logic, so this hook shot, I mean, it's very tempting. I mean, you've got 2 gloves and a hook shot, like you go for the mountain now. You had a lot to do there, but you're not going to find your logical mountain access there yet.
Yeah, we do need lamp or flippers to put that in.
I mean, lamp or flippers could be up here, in which case you know that you're not supposed to be on the mountain with that item. It's going to be the other one.
Yeah, because for context, our flute ended up on Waterfall Ferry. Dane deathwarping out of the front of Thieves.
Hello, Ice Rod on top of Spec Rock.
Ooh, that's fun. This is a tiebreaker for first and second. These guys all went 4-2 in their group. They are racing to not lose.
Yep. The first and second will advance, and third place is unfortunately out. We'd like to have everyone go forward and race on in brackets, but we cannot have that many people. Only top 2 get in. We must eliminate someone. It is unfortunate, but that's it's just how tournaments work. Yeah, get that sheet ready.
Yep,
right.
Ridley, one of our other admins in chat there, who we will be reading right after this for the brackets reveal, would be good if he could get that mostly set up before, this is done. As he finds nothing at all in the first few checks of Paradox.
We're still leading in information here. We do have breve about to turn in the purple chest, though, figuring out that is... Ooh, there's the flippers.
Oh, that's where our flippers went.
So now our mountain's in logic with that.
Yep. Terrible spot for the things.
Purple chest flippers, what the heck?
Paradox giving us a Cane of Berna, and I think that was about it.
Yeah, real bustin' Paradox, basically. But we do have more mountain to go. prieR does have, again, Moon Pearl 2 gloves and the hook shot, so you can head up here. Can't use the TR portal, but you can drop down to the bottom portal and climb through Super Bunny and get to the rest of the dark mountain that way. Bug net on the island.
Okay, I was like, is that a net or a sword? I can't tell.
Yeah, it looked like a net.
Okay.
And Dane now actually going to go ahead and take... we didn't see the other two make this walk towards... there's a bottle with blue potion on Stumpy. That's nice.
Okay, bottle number 3, sure, but not what they usually... not really, absolutely not progression of any kind at all. We're gonna find the disappointment in Paradox. Berta might be nice, the rest of it's not. There's the lamp.
So speaking of flippers or layup on the mountain, there it is. So prieR does know, if you're paying attention to logic, that you know the flippers are now somewhere before all of this, because the flute is your logical mountain.
No. Which can be helpful. Swamp is a crystal, so they will need to find that eventually. Or player knows he'll need to find flippers eventually, it is.
Did Dane get anything at a hype cave? Doesn't look like it.
Nope. Load of money and some money and health. Hype cave? Like a tripe cave.
Imagine hype cave having anything in V31.
I don't believe we have a command for Ambrosia settings, I'm afraid. Someone can explain that. Paying more attention to Super Bunny Cave, which has 3 bombs and a heartbeat.
Still a whole lot of nothing. Dane's going to drop off his smith here, and we'll get, from prieR's side, a look at Hookshot Cave next. We got 4 more items coming up, and we can also take a glimpse at what our TR medallion is to see if it's one of the 2 we already have.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Allison. I will add the command manually now. I should have done it earlier, but anywho,
Fire rod and hookshot cave. That's a good find.
that is a very good find.
And a cape. 10 arrows. And let's see if we get one more cool item. Big 20. All right, 2 good items in hookshot cave. We love the fire rod because that doesn't require progression. And we like the cape because it's a very good safety item and could potentially be also require progression if there's something we need on Bumper Ledge.
Don't forget we still don't have a second sword, and there is that bow.
Oh yeah, that actually could be... Well, we need boots for that first, but yeah, possible that's our first bow we need to do things as well.
All right, ambrosia command added. Because we don't have, so boots are in the light world, which we're running out of places for that to be. It's not lumberjack because that's a bow. It's not head because that's a sword. Tablets would be, if it was a tablet, that would make the cape pointless. Because you need master sword to actually get the tablet items.
Yeah, it can't
beat a mirror lock checks. Yeah, can't be King's Tomb.
Can't be King's Tomb, obviously, because that would be boots self-locking, and you can't have that in items accessibility. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like Grave Ledge, Bombo's tablet, Magic Bat. We need a hammer for that and powder.
K45 exists.
Yeah, in all likelihood, it seems probably mirror locked at this point. That just seems like if there's one item that gets us the boots, it's probably the mirror.
Oh, it could be the shovel spot. Thank you for the reminder, Sir Link a lot. As well as the mushroom, actually. That's another one. Thank you.
The mushroom turn in.
Fetch quest.
If we ever see our fetch quests pop up, yeah. Dane's got his hook shot now from Pinball Room. He's going to save and quit and probably thinking, that mountain looks good right now. Let's go.
But yeah, it's Light World boots, and we pretty much full cleared the place trying to find our Dark World access, so there's really not much left.
Yeah, I mean, they full clear by process of having to find their second glove at Agena. They all 3 of them last located that, because when don't you last locate Agena, basically?
I think Breve skipped Eastern, and that was it. Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, it's, in terms of combing Light World Overworld for boots, yeah, they checked everything. At least everything they could, yeah. They're thinking about it because, like, you want to have boots as early as possible. They go fast, and you're trying to win a race. So, yeah, go fast.
And yes, we have a fairly unusual 3-way race today because it's a 3-way tiebreaker. These guys are really hoping to not lose because they want to make bracket.
Yep, it's a 3-way tie in 4-2. They have a perfect 3-way split with the last member of their group going 0-6. So it is literally... just don't lose. Oh, well, there's a bow on Mothula, so that kind of takes that lumberjack out. You're like, no, we won't see that now.
Yeah. Womp womp.
None of these runners are going to be that desperate for silvers that they have to commit a few minutes to getting a bow from lumberjack.
Yeah, no. It's not as bad as a sword on Ped, but it's still bad.
Yeah.
We did see Desert, map compass on right side, Bicky on the top.
Yep, Desert is boots locked and gave us no item, so yep, we have to wait for boots to get anything else out of Desert. Yep, if we go back there, screen pennant.
And, yeah, there is also that, but yeah, Desert, they all did it, was another bust. Waste of time.
And prieR did have a good moth fight, making good use of half magic fire to take down the moth, and did get that crystal there, so we do have finally a dungeon completion with a crystal acquired. And then breve is actually right behind him. Or was that Dane that did it, not prieR? My bad. There's 3 runners. I lose track of things too easily.
Fire Rod, Green Pendant is not in Logic. We don't have boots. It's not even just not in Logic. It's literally not accessible without a pair of boots right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Desert's hard mechanical locked by boots.
There's the bow for breve.
No, prieR did get it. prieR has the bow. I think that's... Did Dane do Skullwood and I wasn't paying attention? No, Dane has the fire rod. Maybe I'm confused.
Playa was the one who got the bow first. Dane hasn't gotten the Skullwoods yet. He hasn't gotten his fire rod yet. That's where he's going now.
Oh, the trackers are flipped around because of the way it views. Okay, I'm Okay, now I'm understanding the layout better. Okay, yeah, prieR's,
yeah.
okay, I've got it.
Now
The way
you'll find
the way the trackers overlay on the
little...
three-way view is like, okay, now I'm understanding.
Yeah, they show on the runner on the opposite side for that half of the screen, so that they don't obstruct the viewing, just in case. Just us bantering over reading our own commentary page. Don't worry.
And thank you to Allison
This is the same as our 4v8.
Reminding us that we did see the TR medallion, which was Bombos. It's one of the ones we have. We don't have to worry about that.
But yeah, Eastern makes a lot of sense here. They have the bow, it's a red crystal. There's literally no reason to not do this place.
Yeah.
They've actually got a pretty decent amount of items. Really big thing they absolutely must find soon is a hammer. Mirror would be fantastic. They kind of need a cane of Samaria sometime.
We're gonna need to come up with mirror, cane, hammer, boots. Well, maybe boots. They'd like to have boots because go fast, but you never know. We might not need them.
Mirror, cane, boots, Samaria are the four.
And at least one more sword.
Yes, and that. They do need a second sword from somewhere.
Now, if they have to get that sword from Ped, that's going to be kind of goofy.
Just a little bit, yes.
Because that would require us to find our Quake medallion to enter Mire, and then also the hammer to clear Pod. And that would be a very late second sword.
And boots for desert. Don't forget.
Yeah.
If it is only second, if it is hard to card second sword on Ped, the boots would have to be not on a tablet. Or not on a tablet.
Yeah, we basically need to come up with a mirror to find them. Yeah. In like K45.
We kind of need a mirror anyway to find our boots at this rate.
Or on Magic Bat. Or, yeah. There's a couple other places they can be, but that's not as likely.
Yeah, there's not much left.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't pop up because there's like you at this point we have like a majority of the light world cleared. It's just like the boots are just hiding away somewhere tricky. So yeah, it is what it is. Ambrosia teaches the possibility of light world boots, but then doesn't actually give them to you.
Mm-hmm. Mirror would. Tributary could have the hammer at this point. I don't recall if you need a mirror for it. You do need to be Aga if you've got a Pyramid Fairy hammer, though. Because as okay, you need mirror for hammer Pyramid Fairy. Oh right, you did. Never mind. Yeah, thank you. So in case people are wondering, it is possible to have a hammer on Pyramid Fairy, but that would require you to do Aga because. You know those little pegs that separate the bomb shop from on that bridge that separates the bomb shop from the pyramid? You can't do that if you have a hammer on Pyramid Fairy. Instead, you need to get your big red bomb, mirror to Light World, take that Aga portal, and go do the big red bomb that way, as we find it's the single arrow on the bumper ledge for Dane. Yeah.
There are ways around that. You can do bomb dupes and get around those pegs, but yeah. If it comes down to that, we'll see. But I kind of doubt that. It's also unlikely.
It is unlikely. I've only seen it once during last year's Challenge Cup, actually.
I had it happen once in the pilot spoiler tournament. It was kind of awkward because I didn't actually know how to bomb dupe at the time. I was like, oh man, I guess we're doing Aga and losing this one probably. We did.
The Challenge Cup race, one runner tried the bomb dupe and failed. The other didn't know. Both did Aga for it.
Oh yeah.
That was how I found out that it was a possibility. I haven't seen it since, but that was something. Bomb dupe is not the easiest of things to do either.
And breve down here has taken out the Armos Knight in Eastern, claimed a crystal for his efforts. Half of that Pyramid Fairy access. Well, I guess like a third of the Pyramid Fairy access now, because you'd have to clear Aga as well. But prieR's over to Hype Cave, gonna find a whole lot of nothing here. And Dane's working on the back of Skullwood's gonna get towards his bow on Mothula. So what's next here? What's our next move that gets us something interesting?
That's what I was just about to start talking about. We haven't seen the back of Thieves' Town. We haven't seen anything in Pendant Pod.
Pendant
Ice
Pod, I mean,
Palace
yeah,
is available.
available, not
This hammerless
completable.
ice is a terrible idea, but it's
It's a
available.
very terrible idea, especially without Samari to make the dungeon like even like anything faster. Like, I guess without hammer, Samari-less ice isn't so bad because you basically just like you don't even bomb jump, you just go to what's logical and call it good.
Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, it's Pod, Back of Thieves, and Caneless, Samari-less ice, I think, are pretty much our options right now. Or Caneless, hammerless ice. Right.
They've got a nice tense moth fight, getting into one heart, making use of that free blue potion we got on Stumpy to keep this fight alive. He's probably just a couple more fire rod hits. There you go.
Yep. Pod, yeah, reminder from one of our trackers, thank you, Pod, that we need those flippers off of Purple Chest to put Pod in Logic. Since they don't actually have a way over to that part of the Dark World otherwise.
Yeah, so far, breve is the only one to come up with those flippers. Yeah.
Yeah, Purple Chest kind of, in the entirety of Smith Chain, really kind of sucks without a mirror.
Yeah, because you have to. It's purple in particular. It's because you have to get it, save and quit. With a flute, it's not so bad because you can flute to 7 and walk over, but it still takes some extra time compared to having mirror. Yeah.
It looks like breve is heading to the Back of Thieves now as they run out of checks. And I expect the player will likely do the same. Dane did the front earlier and bailed. Didn't blame him at the time without a hammer. Didn't want to risk it, but there's really not any good options right now.
I feel like an Ambrosia Hammerless Thieves is slightly better because that's slightly less odds that there's an item in the big chest.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea how many items we have seen so far. I have utterly failed counting so far right now.
I don't know either. Yeah. I don't see the small key in breve's inventory, so we didn't see that in the front. Rare just got a map.
For trackers, it was one item, those bombs.
Just that bomb pack? Okay, so we got map, compass, big key, elsewise. All right, so that does put more in value in the back. We've got 2 to get, 3 on the last item on the boss. And they're all 3 in Thieves Town now. I mean, this is a pretty natural play here. It is a crystal dungeon, so you want to clear it.
Mostly clearable crystal, which compared to very not clearable and a pain in the rear ice or pendant pod, you'll take this.
Yeah.
And for 2 of them, the pod is also way out of logic right now without a pair of flippers. I don't know if Dane can turn jump. I think player can.
Yeah, current jump is not terribly difficult. It's a good way to get to East Dark World without flippers, yeah.
Because that was what Dane and player would need to do to get to pod right now without a pair of flippers.
It's a bit of a walk without boots, but you know, you can get there. You could also just see them splash delete in the lake and swim across that way.
That's true. I tend to forget that strat exists. And Zelda still has the herpes, so I think that puts the small key on the big chest.
I believe they all turned in Smiths, Alzin asks in chat. I think they've all turned in the Smith. It's only breve that actually bothered doing with the purple chest.
Mm-hmm. Hookshot is in Logic. That was in front of Skullwoods. Doing Aga's in Logic. Doing Aga just currently doesn't do much. They don't have a mirror for the Pyramid Fairy. They don't have the boots are probably mirror locked at this point to actually get that Silvers off Lumberjack Ledge, which they don't actually need anyhow. So, nah.
breve is first into the blind fight, immediately off script, but we do have a Cane of Burna, so this is, with half magic, this is actually just free. You just kind of get down to where you need to use it, and then just deal with the lag frames to take out the boss. Not difficult at all.
Okay, that is point though. If we're discussing logic, as you can't Quake off blind, that puts Wire as an option. Whoa. But that is a point that if Hag is in logic, they know they can get to East Dark World in light logic, so they can safely turn jump over. But yes, they've been largely doing similar things, just because there's not been much divergence available to them, honestly.
That quick medallion, however, I believe by the logic of Thieves Town, is locked by the hammer because of the small key being self-locked.
Yep. So they'll probably avoid Meyer. I mean, Pendant Meyer without a cane. There's one item in there. Not the greatest option ever.
Yeah.
Not Pendant Meyer. It's yeah, it is Pendant Meyer without a cane.
Pendant Caneless Mire, one item in the front. It's not a great dive, and you know you're not going to get the hammer there. So it's like you don't want to do that unless it's a hard like last location for something else. That no, don't do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's see. Breve is making our way over towards the east. I mean, maybe we can't do a Grave Ledger. I think this might actually be a walk to do a Kern. Oh, and he got flippers. He can just walk to Catfish here.
Yeah, he's just doing Catfish Pod.
That's
I
right.
expect. I mean, having already gotten flippers, it's not like he's got much else to do. It's this and Meyer and Ice, all of which are. You'll do Pendant Pod over Caneless, Hammerless Meyer, and Caneless, Caneless, Hammerless Ice, and Caneless Meyer at this point. Desert is boots locked.
Desert is hard boots locked, yeah. So Dane is actually making the walk over here. Dane will do the current jump because Dane has not pulled the flippers out of Purple Chest. And there's a little setup here. Jump in the water, hold south. First try. Nicely done. Redley, don't delete the challenge. Please don't. We don't want to have to start over.
Also, there's a mirror of Catfish.
Well, there you go. That's Catfish for you.
First item in Swamp is now a thing.
First check Swamp. Yeah, of all things.
Plus an assortment of really lousy overworld checks that are scattered all over the place.
First check Swamp is about the worst thing you can come across. Or first check Swamp Hammer is about the worst thing possible. But I've seen it.
Absolutely, yes. But yeah, that is very much now a thing. Reva's gonna backtrack for Graveyard Ledge immediately. Might as well, it's otherwise the most orphan check there is.
Yeah, and you're not, that doesn't become easier to get until you've got like boots basically, and for all you know, boots could be here.
There's a decent chance of it, honestly.
There aren't many places left for boots, and they're probably just mirror locked. And moment of truth, nope, it's red, but it's not boots.
No. Which leaves those Magic Bats, K45.
I don't know if we saw a bumper ledge check from either of these other runners here, but prieR did see that single arrow there on the bumper ledge there, so yeah.
Yeah, it could be Bumbo's tablet boots of all idiot things, though we'd have to find a second sword somewhere for it.
Yeah.
Since boots are locking Desert, which locks a sword on pad of all things.
They're still,
K45, Dig Spot, Shovel Spot, Shroom Spot, Magic Bat. Basically all of our fetch quests in K45 are open right now for boots.
Yep. The fetch quest items that have yet to pop up still, but you know, they could. Breve is going to continue to make use of this mirror. Checkerboard is possible, yeah.
We all completely forgot about it until right now.
We're like, oh yeah, that's a location. Is it the boots?
That exists.
No, that's a green rupee. That is the absolute opposite of boots.
Really is. Here's the mirror for playing.
Breve is just like, ugh, I hate this. Gonna grab that wall in frustration, and we're gonna flute somewhere else.
Era is now the answer, which makes sense. Read Ether Tablet, get a crystal. This will be actually the second red crystal. That's actually what put Pyramid Fairy in logic. We were discussing Pyramid Fairy, forgot we didn't even have Pyramid Fairy accessible without a hammer or mirror until now. Two swords and tablets that basically require it either K45 boots or boots to show up on the fetch quest that they find.
Dane will be able to get his ice rod on top of here.
Yep, ice rod right there.
That's free. You don't have to hunt for the ice rod, which is nice because we know you got to kill a Trinex later. So it's no ice rod hunt today. I think if you're in this race, you are very happy to see not an ice rod hunt because that is an absolute thing that could wreck you in a situation like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god! Why? No, that is not okay.
Allison, what?
What is this? There's a sword on Bombos on the ether tablet. Ugh. So that puts us one step closer towards that pen sword being required. Damn.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now the last word just needs to be in GT. It'll just be the worst until, so that could be manageable still, but that's just great, Allison. That's just fantastic.
All right, Dane pulling off a nice first try on the Harapot. We're going to skip up at the 4th floor, get ourselves some items here, or at least one item, and then we'll hunt down whatever's on Moldorm. Maybe going straight for Moldorm. Okay. Oh, did we find one on the ground floor?
I was not counting.
I thought we had Big Key Compass. Maybe he's just going to do the boss first. I don't know.
Well, he's going to fall in the pit first, is what he's or no, prie's going to fall in the pit first. Ouch. I'm not sure with Dane. But yes, in case anyone missed it, there is a sword on the ether tablet. And there's a sword on the pedestal.
Boots and K45, there they are.
Oh, there they are.
prieR's got them.
That really absolutely tells us, that we can go. That's not good, honestly. That really puts Pet Possible. Because if Boots had been on Bombo's tablet, that would have meant a second sword was available, but nope, this one puts the Pet into possibility. Not something...
At this point, we need. I mean, we still need Hammer and Samaria for that Ped sword to be a thing. But it's one step closer. Yeah, that lets us clear desert and get both the items out of it.
Yep, there's our bottle percent. Okay.
Last bottle for our first item inherit in the big chest, and Dane has meanwhile taken down the Moldorm. I missed what the item was, but I don't think it was consequential.
So did I. Looks like his tracker didn't update, so nope.
We'll get another look at it from Brief's side in just a moment here.
But yes, this scene is a bit comical. Sword on ether tablet, sword on pad, there's a bow on lumberjack ledge. We still don't have a hammer 55 minutes in. You know, this is going.
I guess this is a real good seed for a tiebreaker. I guess he couldn't really ask for better. At least from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and Ridley saying he has never wanted a pet sword more than ever. Well, they have a pet sword. They found the book in the Lost Woods, and all 3 of them read the pad. It is in fact a vanilla sword. They're probably kind of worried about it at this point, I think.
Yeah, especially if you've been up the mountain, you've seen that ether tablet one. Yeah, which I think they all 3 have now. Yeah. prieR did pull off having Boots as able to do the Harapot significantly quicker than the bomb setup and made it look really easily getting them the first try.
Mm-hmm.
Dane is now actually grabbing the purple chest. He's going to be rewarded with his flippers in a little bit and his other footwear on the walk down. He will find his boots too.
Mm-hmm. All right, there's breve, our last runner to officially find out, and with some rage slashes, he is not happy. They are not happy. Misses the duck because they're so mad about it.
So upset that you missed the duck. Yeah, understandable, honestly.
Really is. They're gonna get his boots now. Yeah, breve. They were very, very mad. I don't follow them.
We're tangling with the Moldorm. There's the 6th hit. That big worm will now explode and give us an item, which is they're green rupee. Okay, yeah, sure. And we'll get his flippers now. There we go. Finally at 56 minutes and change, his seat is now back in logic.
Yep. The logic was a little bit messy on this one too, just for the extra giggles with now in access being not behind flippers and purple, just behind a pair of mitts on the Gina. Yeah, that's to Moon Pearl being the literal only item in all of Kakariko.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Kakariko notes and just like, there's a pearl there. That's it.
Yep. Nobody's checked the first chest in Swamp. It exists. They don't want to do it, but it exists.
It's available now with that mirror and flip. Well, you can do it. Do you want to? I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, their options currently, best option is Pod. They also have that one thing in Swamp. They have one thing in Mire, and they have Keenless, Hammerless Ice.
So prieR, they're all in the area. I mean, obviously, breve is headed for Hype Cave. Looks like Dane and prieR are both actually headed simultaneously towards looking at the Bombos tablet just to give it a read to see if the seed is like why.
And prieR doing the same. Well, this will be a laugh if it is.
Okay, all right.
No,
we didn't get the trifecta. All right, we were close.
We were close. Still need to find the third sword, though. Or the final sword, because it's sadly not on the tablet. I would have died laughing if it was.
This would have been the best tiebreaker ever if that was a thing. Both of these runners, I'm not surprised they're going for this. Like, you're in the area and you're running kind of thin on logical checks. Like, sure, first check Swamp. Maybe it's a goofy hammer.
Shoutouts to all three of them doing it at the same time right now.
Yeah. Like, for all the divergence we have had so far, these three are now just like, synchronized, hunting for a hammer. Where the heck?
I mean, you're here, basically. It's all of their reasoning at this point.
Yeah, almost perfectly synced getting into the Swamp entrance here. We're going to have one check available. It's literally the only check you can get without the hammer, besides the small key in the first chest, of course.
Yeah.
If it's a hammer, then we clear Swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, Dane hasn't done Eastern yet as probably the main substantial difference, so he might be able to route it in with Pod with the rate this is going.
Moment of truth, moment of truth. It actually is. Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
This scene is great. I am putting this in at least one streamer viewer submission queue. This is so good.
This is amazing. We just need to get there. We just need to get there. Just send us the link to this disaster.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a message in the race room later like, we need this seed. Please let us throw it at streamers and have them have fun with it. Please.
Because this is amazing.
Well, like I said, if we find hammer here, we're clearing Swamp. Here we are.
Oh, Allison has a link. Do you? We'd kind of like that, I think.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, happy 1 hour, everyone. This is great. Give everybody to follow Dane, prieR, and preve, as well as my co-comrade Lord, our trackers, Occupation, Howard Mario, and Tal for checking this, fantastically messy seed.
I knew this was going to be a good race. I mean, it's a three-way race off to see which two runners get to go into brackets from this group. But like, I didn't think it was going to be this good.
Rando knew it was a three-way tiebreak and decided to give us one of the greatest seeds possible for it.
Oh, did it! All right, so we got prieR and Dane both going for left side, while breve has decided we're going to go straight to the back.
Yeah.
I like this a little more in Ambrosia because, again, you know there's an item on the boss, and depending on what you find in your first couple checks, you might kind of get some influence on whether you go back first or left side.
Compass was on. Map was on the compass chest. The one that's just below the big room, and there's a compass. So 2 items on left side because the big key turned up on the diver down chests.
Yeah.
If Samaria shows up here, they are going to just hope they find a sword on their way, and curse a whole lot when they don't. Pet is still a substantial time sink at this point.
All right, prieR is going to be first to getting over to the left side, and breve is now into this fighter sword Argus fight. Your most optimal strat is to do double pull fighter sword spins. It saves about half a minute compared to the menuing for the hammer, if done optimally.
Ped can't have Kane. We know it can't have Kane. Everybody, in fact, knows that it's their silvers today. It's their what is currently Master Sword today. They're really hoping their butter is available on the way someplace that's not completely ludicrous, because their fourth sword, because they also have a sword on Ether tablet, just for the extra yikes. Sadly, we did not get a triple whammy of a sword on Bibles tablet to go with it.
Left side swamp was a heart and just a bomb pack, so nothing exciting over there. I'd be surprised if breve doesn't go back in for it, because it is 2 items, but I mean, if he skips it, or they skip it, then we'll have a bit of time gained.
Yeah.
Taking down Argus with the fire rod, and there we go, the boss is down. And a heart piece for your troubles.
Well, like, actually, that's just a mean thought. Last sword in GT big chest. I mean, if they get all the way through GT and don't find it, they're going to get the last sword off GT big chest if it comes down to that. Because if these guys get all the way through all their remaining dungeons and don't find their last sword, don't find a sword, they will full clear GT for looking for it.
Okay, and breve's going to re-enter for these. Yeah, so we've got 2 items still pending. Or, I guess, well, actually, 1 item pending with all what we know, yeah, whatever's in the big chest. Actually, Dane's going to do the walk back from Flooded Room. So if you find the big key in Flooded Room, I feel like it's optimal. If you're gonna check that big chest, you can walk back from Flooded Room, and that's a good time to do it. Mm-hmm. But breve will get here first, and 50 rupees. Nope.
Nope.
The swamp is empty of all things. Just, I mean, besides the hammer, of course, it's a big item, but like the rest of swamp is just nothing. So I guess that probably sends you towards pod, right? Like that's your next best play, is just to go for pendant pod. Maybe Ice Palace actually, because you can clear ice now. It's not great, but you can clear it.
Yeah. Also, thank you for the clip, Wayfaring Fox, of the synced hammer. This has been a really comedic scene. If someone wants to go clip a reaction to either tablet, that would be fun too.
I'm gonna enjoy watching the VOD of this later. I don't always watch VODs of like races I've commentated on, but this one's a blast. I'm gonna enjoy this one again later, no doubt. prieR's taking down the Argus, got his crystal, and Dane is right behind him, just getting into the last room before the boss here, getting that last key, swimming down towards the door into the boss room in a few seconds, and then breve has to clean up left side as well. prieR's also re-entering from big chest. Yeah, you want to check that. You're still looking for stuff.
Yep. And hey, nobly rating the party of 5. Welcome into quite the seed here for our Group P Tiebreaker.
It's great.
Edler and I have busted out laughing about 5 times by now, at least. It's been absolutely hilarious. The runners are not amused, but we are having a good time. breve is gonna go find out the Mama's tablet is thankfully not a sword.
So with hammer, we can now much more easily get to Pyramid Fairy, and prieR in the area having the red crystal says, let's do this now. You can check Pyramid Fairy into the Pyramid Ledge, and then pod is not a terrible walk away from that point. Actually, you're rather just mirror flute to pod, but yeah.
I mean, at this point, they've got dungeons to clear.
Yeah, if you want to go to pod, but yeah, I think you can clear ice. You can clear ice.
You can clear ice. You can. Well, I guess primarily at this point, just clear ice.
Yeah, ice is your crystal dungeon. You can do. Outside of that, you're selecting your favorite pendant dungeon to go do.
Pretty much. There's 2 items in desert, 2 items in mire, 5 items in pod. 3 items desert, counting the green pendant. 3 items desert, 2 item mire, 5 item pod. Have fun.
Just a bomb pack on the Pyramid Ledge, so we'll see what's inside. 2 checks in the fairy fountain, and well, there's a shield. Okay, sure.
Okay.
breve right behind prieR and making these checks, and Dane is actually going for the pod play. I don't hate this. This is either like pendant pod for density versus Ice Palace without Cane for your objective. Like I don't hate a pod play right here.
It's honestly not a bad idea, because, yeah, caneless ice, not the greatest thing ever.
It really isn't.
When I first do Eastern, which makes sense. If you find Arcane in Eastern, you're done with this place. At least
Refooted
ice
8.
can't be cane locked, I believe, since Ambrosia guarantees an item on the boss. I think it's what, small key on cold stare that can make ice cane locked. Okay, chat confirms I have not gone nuts. And we're seeing Kingston for breve, which is a completely new check.
breve opted to go to 2 and was thinking about ice, but was like, wait, I want to go do something else here. Go into 2, find a heart piece in King's Tomb, sure.
Small key and pen gators for prieR.
Dane is now getting back to Eastern Palace to clean up this and actually clear the dungeon, which is pretty reasonable. It's a crystal, you want to do it, and an item on the boss.
You want to do it, and if you find your cane here, you can completely skip pod, versus if you do pod and then get here for the cane, you're gonna feel like an idiot. Because that can happen sometimes. And let's see what Podrox is. More money. Okay.
Big 20. prieR doing the nice old Stalfos Room quick kill that we used to know and love until Icebreaker came around. We still like it, but I think more runners nowadays aren't as familiar with it because of the advent of Icebreaker being as good as it is.
Okay, breve is going to... Right, breve was the only one who didn't check Lumberjack earlier, so he's going to get the extra amusing news what this is.
Yep, second bow there. You don't need that.
Yep.
You might want it if you only come up with 2 swords, but that's probably never going to be worth the time. Yeah.
That is too much of a time sink.
It really is.
And Dane's gonna... breve, sorry, is heading straight for ice as well. Dane caught up on crystals now. Dane was the first ever to go to Eastern very early, out a bow, so that's why he's backtracking, basically.
It looks like we just did an opening of pod in case you want to do it later, and then a mirror to Eastern to finish it, and then we'll just peace out and maybe come back here later if we want, yeah.
Looks like it. Alright, Icebreaker chest is not a cane. I would have laughed if it was.
If the Samaria is here, you love it every time, yeah.
Actually, as discussing items in dependent dungeons, it's 1 item, Meyer, not even 2. But my first ever ALttPR seed that I ever saw was a vanilla cane seed, and I saw a vanilla cane seed just the other day. French vanilla cane, I think it was map chest. That was fun too.
Oh, lovely.
Because we could have that at this rate.
I think prieR has located 2 items and is on his way down to the boss.
Actually, so he was in the room before Icebreaker, which we apparently both brain farted. Nice.
Oh, it's actually here. Okay. Well, there we go. We both missed that. We're looking at 3 runners and talking about stuff, and it slipped past us both. So there we go.
Alrighty, so that's go mode. Besides the sword, of course.
Yeah, we do need a sword. Yes, true.
Yes, we do. Actually, gonna put up a quick little bet. Where is that last sword?
Bomb pack on Cold Stare and the crystal, which is much more important than that 3-pack of bombs.
They do have an obtainable Master Sword, yes, but they're really hoping they don't need to do pen for it, because that's just a really long time sink when you're in a race for the marbles. All the marbles, they don't want to do it if at all possible. They will do every chest that is on the way in their face just to hope that... they might not detour a long way for it. I could see them skipping something like Lava Chest maybe, but they will be doing the checks on their way because you really don't want to do 3-pen dungeons for bed right now.
You really like don't, yeah.
Dungeons and have 1 left. They have barely touched. They have touched desert and haven't touched they've done half desert, but haven't touched the other two at all. Can't really do it.
prieR is now heading on the mountain. First one out of Ice Palace and says it is time for Total Rock, which is a very reasonable decision to make. You have everything you need to beat the dungeon, and you have half magic, so Hammer Trinex is not absolutely terrible this time around.
Yep. But yeah, there's a good number of checks between TR and GT. They will likely find the fourth sword here, but there is no guarantee. Feel free to use the command !bet, and then where do you think this last sword ended up? It's not the pedestal, it's not either tablet, it's not Bombo's tablet. It's not that. Yeah, we've got a whole lot of other things. We've got all 3 pendant dungeons, we've got Sahasrahla, we've got Spike Cave.
If we want this seed to be incredible, I think it needs to be Sahasrahla. Green Pendant would be amazing.
It really would.
But realistically, I think we're just going to find it in GT basement somewhere, because that's where most of our density is at this point.
Yeah, it could be a fetch quest still, too. We are missing a few of those.
I'd accept a fetch quest out of GT basement, like a mushroom or powder that's there, and it says, hey, go find a sword from this.
That would be funny. But yes, for those who missed it, the other two... Why we're doing a bet for a fourth sword of all things right now is because the other 2 swords are the pedestal and Ether Tablet. They can't get Ether Tablet, and they really don't want to do ped, so... have fun.
Dane dropping into his Cold Stare fight, initiating with the Bombos Medallion, and then using your Fire Up for damage, because that's really the best way to get away with it, having only one sword. prieR checks the roller room and finds a key and a compass. So we've got two small keys up front, so if Chain Chomp is not our big key, we're going to be looking at a vanilla big and TR.
Which I think seen Smith Chain slowly but surely. We did see most of Smith Chain, except for Hammer Pegs was not checked because Hammer was the first chest of swamp.
Yeah, our hammer was like the Hammer Peg is forcibly isolated because like there's no way you're getting Hammer Pegs before doing like anything else. There's no way you're getting Hammer Pegs done.
You literally can, considering flippers were on the purple chest.
Yeah. There is a vanilla big in the lava chest. I think you're probably full clearing TR anyway because you're looking for a second sword. You don't want to miss your only available other sword in TR, I don't think. Basically,
like they are at this point, they are considering that the sword on ped is inaccessible for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
and they're going to do every other check looking for the last one.
The nice thing is, if you come up with a sword in TR or GT basement, you can just get your Ether Tablet and have 3 swords. Like it's right there. Why not? Mm-hmm. That'll save you a ton of time compared to Master Sword Ganon.
Especially without silvers.
Yeah.
And a race where a runner lost like 15 minutes to Master Sword Silverless Ganon and very nearly lost to it. Period. That's
another good question from chat. Where are the armor upgrades? This isn't hard pull. It's just Ambrosia. They do exist. We just haven't seen either of them yet.
We have not. They must be around somewhere. I mean, there are items left in the pendant dungeons. There's Laser Bridge, all of GT, but it is odd we have seen no mail upgrades.
We got all our bottles, but like no powder, no armor. So we're missing like the safeties we really want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. At least they have half magic and at least 2 bottles apiece.
All right, prieR is continuing. We're gonna see Mimic Cave. Yep. I saw at least one person say Mimic Cave, so we're going to see if maybe that is the indeed correct spot here.
Yep. The bet will close, by the way, once player takes down Trinex. As we start the GT Biggie guessing game, actually, once that turns up.
We've never actually got to Cave 45 and got their boots, just noticing on their tracker.
Yeah. No, they have boots.
Oh, it's just not on their. Oh, it's not on their tracker. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, good call there. Okay.
In fact, they're sprinting right there.
A little bit of cape usage on Breve's side to keep safe in the chain chomper room. Good idea.
Yeah. So at the moment, Cleo has a decent lead on Breve, who has a decent lead on Dane, but it's not quite over yet any which way, especially if all three of them get stuck with Master Sword Ganon, Sliverless Ganon, then they're in for fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's currently very much still within range of GT routing execution. Where that last sword ended up really could matter right this moment.
All right, here comes Laser Bridge. We've got a big 20. There's the small key that we need. There's a heart piece. And sword number 2. There it is. All right, good news.
There we are. Laser Bridge. So, gonna get that third sword off of, what's it? The Ether Tablet before
yes.
GT, I expect.
Yeah, Tempered is free now. Yeah, because you do that before you enter GT, 100%.
Yep. Also, that's a major F. Breve took a death there in TR and got sent all the way back to start.
Breve and Dane are now... Oh, Dane also died in Chain Chomp there. Not as bad, but they're still relatively close still. That gives prieR a little bit more of a lead over these two. But again, it is top 2 in this race. Only the third place rider does not advance, so it may come down to just like where prieR is in the lead, and we're kind of just like seeing who wins out of Dane versus Breve.
Pretty much. So that and today, by the way, they couldn't have skipped Lava Chest. The big key was vanilla. Thanks, game. But yeah, Dane and Breve still kind of close. GT routing very much could still matter out of for these guys.
prieR taking down his phase 1 Trinex, about to get into phase 2. Switching to the hammer. And nicely done. Hammer Trinex phase 1 is a bit tricky with the small hitbox of the hammer and having to menu switch and everything, but he made it look not too bad. And a good old-fashioned boss heart for our troubles. That's 7 crystals.
Alright, so quick little thing we like to do. We've got about 30 seconds for it, maybe a smidge longer for Ether Tablet, but pick our 21 chests and 1 torch in the basement of Ganon's Tower. Put in a number between 1 and 22. Where's that big key?
I like 18, like usual.
I'm putting in my usual 14.
Jetters, if it actually is 42, I will mail you a prize personally.
And while I'm thinking about it, seeing some pings about this thing in Discord as a reminder that we will be having the brackets reveal immediately after this. We'll be heading on over to Ridley Dragon stream for that. As player gets his tempered now. Right.
Yep, so the 2 winners of this race will join the 62 other runners who have been waiting for the group's phase to conclude, and will then get to know who their first round opponents are, and then can immediately start scheduling to get those races knocked out. We'll have 2 weeks for the first round, and then every 1 week for each following round. But I believe also a 2 week for the phase that encompasses GDQ. Man, GDQ is coming up soon.
It is.
All right, prieR. Check number 1.
There it is.
There it is. Bingo.
Well, okay. The nicest thing about this scene is going to be that that they at least got the first check of big key. So Gorodin takes this one. Nice.
He's got to go.
He said 1 in chat. Ridley Dragon also said 1 as well.
Grab that pot key and up you go. That's all you need.
Playa is in go mode. Breve will be hitting go mode in about a minute or 2, and Dane's not far behind.
Yep, the actual go mode is the last chest of Laser Bridge where they will find their second sword. And they'll get their third sword from the Ether tablet before they enter GT.
Yep.
And we'll leave that sword unped for all eternity. It gets to stay there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dane and breve still kind of close for second right now in this race. Reminder that this is a race to not get last. This is a three-way tie for first and second in the group. So this is not yet over for breve and Dane. Close but not over. prieR is got a decent lead on both of the others though, as prieR is already a decent way up the tower. The other two are not quite done with TR.
The chat's asking about bows. We did see the one bow we do have was given to us for free from our Crystal Mothula. And the other bow, of course, is on Lumberjack. We were never getting it.
You're speculating for a while if that would be the first bow, but the other one did turn up.
We had a lot to speculate on because, like, looking at two visible swords on Ether Tablet and Ped and the Lumberjack bow, we were just like, man, what if? There's so many scenarios that could require these items, and then the Seed was just like, I'm going to tease you with this, but not really. They're not. You don't need them.
Also wondering where on earth boots ended up because they were hinted Light World, but we did so much early looking for those mitts.
Yeah, we had to check almost everything in Light World to actually find the boots. Locked by the mirror on Catfish, of all things.
Mirror on Catfish. Flippers on Purple Chest.
Yeah, that chain itself was just like, yeah. And the hammer in First Check Swamp is just like, still pretty delicious, all things considered, of a seed.
I mean, just consider that our hammer...
Did breve use the door? Please tell me breve used the door.
breve, oh no.
Oh, he's... sitting for a minute. There's breve. Okay, he's at the middle at least. I mean, all right. Well, it's bad, but not insurmountable. That's not great though.
That is very not great though. Yeah, that might have just caught breve at bracket spot there.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Dane goes right, I hope Rimmon gets the key and then goes up and doesn't have any execution issues on the climb. That's definitely game at that point. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe Dane goes left and misses the big key, and breve gets it. It's still a race. It's possible, but it's less likely. It is.
Yeah. Dane has generally been slightly behind the other two. Not anything specific necessarily, just some divergences in routing, perhaps minor execution differences.
Yeah.
All close. And again, just can be Ganon sometimes.
It's not like any of these runners made like any big bad decisions, because you kind of had to go all over the place to find the stuff you needed. Like, none of them touched Pendant Pod, so Pendant Pod was just completely nothing in this seed.
Oh yeah, Dane might have gone there, but in this case we know it's a good thing he didn't at this point.
Yeah. Dane will now pick up his third sword off the Ether Tablet. prieR is into the Aga 2 fight, gets a double for the first phase.
There's Tempered for Dane.
One hit on phase 2. Just misses on round 3. breve is doing a good job of taking care of Hammer Trinax. It's tricky again. The Hammer hitbox sucks, but we do what we can with it.
Silvers are on Lumberjack, as it turns out. One of the many interesting things about this seed.
Yeah, the only possible item we were really finding on the climb that would help them would be like an armor upgrade. But I mean, if you're comfy enough with just taking out like Green Melgin, and if you're like an NMG runner or something, then you're just going for it. You're not going to find a sword or a bow. Oh, Dane is going left. Also, Dane's going left and killing the Stalfos. He could be committing to left side. There's a shovel. Nobody's going to mirror. Okay, he's mirroring to go right. Okay. Usually you don't see the Stalfos killed when you're going to do that route. prieR is into phase 2 on Ganon. Gonna pop that blue potion now for safety. It's a good idea. Those fire bats do 4 hearts of damage. And now in phase 3, got the good 1-1. All right, breve is through their Trinex fight now. Cannon's being pretty nice with the teleport RNG here, actually. Not that many overall. Did you find the arrows in Light World? Yeah, we found them. We're not getting them. We saw where they are, though. Thanks.
Yes, indeed.
So prieR just needs 12 tempered spins to take out the silverless Ganon and will secure his first place in this tiebreaker race. breve has now finished the Trinex fight and is blazing over towards the tower as fast as they can. And Dane is now just kind of getting past the first floor of the climb. After getting knocked off the bridge once, but you know.
All right,
That's it. That's it for prieR. You know, for as much as this seed asked of us, getting under a 130 on this, really not too bad. Let's see, what's that time?
We've got a 28:34 for prieR.
Yeah.
GG's, congrats on moving on to brackets. Our other two runners not completely out of it yet. Do keep in mind this is a 10-minute delay. So no spoilers if anyone has looked at the race room, which I have as the race streamer, so.
We will say nothing based on what we know in the race room until we see it happen on screen. That goes for you too, chat. Don't spoil anything now.
Yeah.
Not that I expect you would. There. We all like the sanctity of the race. The bot will be the spoiler for us, basically.
Yeah, prieR going directly left. Hopefully he does Dark Magician strats here. He gets a shovel,
hopefully
some money.
They're not killing the Stalfos, which is usually a good sign. And they're mirror on the quick swap. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Thank you.
So still possible. We'll see. Yep, there's that big key. You've got 2 small keys easily, so you are climbing. Let's go. And Dane is now getting into Torches 2 momentarily here. Careful not to touch any of those eyes, lasers. Wonder if we see any chests here checked just to see if there's a possibility of an armor pickup. No, he's going.
Nah, he's skipping it all.
I guess if you're watching the race room in particular, you're thinking, man, I just got to go hard because at this point you know that prieR is finished. If you're watching the race room and you're thinking, I need to go like as fast as possible.
Yep. Good return for sale. Low that Zora.
Yeah.
I mean, not wrong, I guess. He did give 300 instead of his usual nothing. For Ruby.
Dane had a really nice Moldorm too. Just stayed in the corner, let him get 2 spins in really easily.
Yeah.
All right, breve is now into the gauntlet. Using the bow to good effect. I like bow usage for the gauntlet. It's effective at killing everything but the red Zezex.
Yep.
Dane now into the Aga 2. We'll see how he fares with these patterns. Ooh, gets nothing on that one there. Got kind of hit by the blue wall. About the same as prieR actually there. Kind of didn't get anything on that third round.
Mm-hmm.
Free triple. Needs like 1 more hit, I believe, here. Yep, there it is. All right. That's Dane through Aga 2. breve is now on the 5th floor, getting through the Wizard rooms, and then into torches. Oop, a little bit of bad luck on the bridge there. Kind of clashed one of the guards. Didn't get knocked off, though, so it could have been worse. Dane dropping into the Ganon fight now. Has 8 hearts to his name right now. Probably still that blue potion. Half magic with lamp and fire rod. Pretty much says your phase 4 silverless should be pretty easy.
The unknown sword. Well, they all knew it was there. They just all were very glad.
We knew quite well about that sword. Thank you.
Very, very well.
We knew about that sword inside of 10 minutes. We've been talking about it the whole game.
That was quite the thing.
Dane had a very good 1-1 for the phases 1 and 2. We're now into phase 3.
Yep.
Breve is now into the Moldorm 2. Grab that full magic refill. Also not checking anything on the climb. Again, just you're trying to go as fast as possible here. This is your this is your last chance at brackets. You got to do as fast as possible. Oh no! That's a hug.
Oh no, Dane.
Oh, that hurts. That's gonna slim this lead up quite a bit.
That just made it a lot closer.
That is basically a telefrag. You popped Ganon right on top of you as he was coming in on his teleport. That's you hate to see it. And now Dane does have different RNG for this one. For all we know, the second Ganon fight RNG could be much worse than the teleports. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will.
You hope for his sake it's not that way, but we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't quite get his 1-1 either.
Runners have tempered. That is not an issue. Dane took a death to Ganon is what happened on the 3rd phase.
And in phase 4, like right as he threw he threw at the left torch, and there's another one. Oh no!
Oh no!
This is much closer now, unfortunately. Oh no!
Now this is really neck and neck. No.
Just gotta pull it together as best you can.
Get back in.
All right, get your 1-1 here. You can do it. Come on. Into phase 2. Do some cave spins for nice safety. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very, very close now. Just under 28 seconds difference dropping back into Ganon for the most recent round. Dane dropping in at 134.15, Breve dropping in at 134.43. That is not much.
Dane's phase 3 RNG already looking a little bit worse. Some extra teleports coming out here. Breve is also making good use of that cape to get some extra spins in for the second phase. Just to kind of secure it, because I believe they've all had 1 blue potion. Oh, Breve has the green still. Okay. Breve might have used their blue.
Might have, yeah.
Dane is into phase 4 now, so it still has a little bit of a lead. Assuming Dane can close this out, we'll still have it, but not by much.
No.
Sapphire out there, but we're okay. We got half magic. We got plenty of shots to use here. Breves into phase 4, gets the torch glitch with a little bit of lamp spam, nice and secure. They're just battling to see who can get all these spins in first. Dane still has a bit of a lead. I don't know by how many, but it's the lead.
Yeah, it's close.
That's it. Dane's done it.
There we are. Dane doesn't let those 2 gated deaths make the difference, and will clinch the final bracket spot of this tournament here, with Breve just behind at 136.29. GG's.
Breve's going to be coming in less than a minute behind at this rate. Yep,
very,
there's Ganon exploding.
Close.
Yep. Whew, that was you can see we've got the whole stream. We can see the relief on Dane's face. He's just like, man, I almost, it still got it. Ugh.
Oh yeah, GG's to Breve as well, just barely missing the final bracket spot, 136.52.
Yep, just a difference of 23 seconds. And that was kind of like what we were saying, like prieR could end up with a big lead and then it's down to Dane and breve, and it could end up very close, and it was very close.
Very much is. We will be getting all three runners in for an interview, just waiting for breve to join in. There he is, going to switch to the interview scene, and oh man, what a race. And what a seed.
Oh, wow. That was good. That was a lot of fun.
Really was. Hello, Dane, prieR, and breve. GG's.
Hey,
Thank you.
good games.
Wow, what a seed.
That sure was a seed, all right. From the
Oh,
beginning,
goodness.
like within 10 minutes, you get the book and you're looking at Ped like, well, there's a sword there. And two of you looked at Lumberjack and like, oh, there's a bow there. We had a lot to talk about this whole way through. There was a lot of speculation.
The worst thing had already happened with the monkey paw boots hint. It was just, I could see it coming. I'll check as much as I can in the light world, and obviously won't get them.
Yeah. The boots, they seemed so mirror locked by the time we were like halfway through and they didn't show up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you guys did so much. All three of you basically just about last location mitts on Nagina there.
Yeah. I think it's hard not to this seed. It's not very enticing to go to Agina when you get the book, and yeah, you have enough money for pod, so you're not gonna do Agina early. You're gonna do or enough money for Zora, I mean. So you're gonna do South Shore and then maybe Fake Flipper if you're feeling like that. With the glove there, I think it's very good to Fake Flipper. I was on the fence about it before getting the glove, but once the glove showed up, it convinced me.
Yeah, I was really indecisive about that as well. I decided not to do it and then changed my mind and went and did it with the boomerang instead. I was kind of panicking the whole seat.
Yeah, like that Fake Flipper. I mean, you all three did go for it at slightly varying times. It was, it paid off. I feel like it's a good move when you've got the Zora money and you're in South Shore and you've got the Pearl. You may as well go for it. And like Flute being there was nice because that let you all have some early mobility.
Yeah, and we were pretty low with regards to items we had. And with me seeing the bow up there, that's kind of why I dipped Eastern early. It's because I had very little optimism about us clearing any of the Light World dungeons early, because we would need to get a glove and a lamp by the time I got before I got the glove in Ice Rod at least. And
yeah,
it just didn't seem like we were going to be able to clear anything. So I was going to, the Fake Flipper I thought had some advantage, because maybe you'll get a lamp out of Logic and get the item and green pendant off Desert, because like those dips in like Desert, just the one item, they're just not very enticing in Ambrosia.
Yeah. And especially when Desert is like there's a coin flip chance that it's just hard boots locked anyway. So it's even with an early book, it's just kind of like it's Desert's not appetizing at all in Ambrosia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we got to sit for a while and think about, well, where's our logical mountain access? Because of course the lamp was up there, so we're thinking, where's the flippers and purple chest? That was one of the good jokes this one had.
Yep. Shout outs to that one. Of course, you had to go to Fifth Chain the long way for it.
And then the hammer in Swamp, I think, was one of the absolute highlights, and you three were all in there at the same time. So it's just like you three pretty much converged with like not that much time difference. Said, well, we're in the area. I guess we're going for first check Swamp to see if the hammer's there. Turns out.
That's really nice. I actually just forgot I didn't have the hammer. Was going there to clear Swamp and got bailed.
We
can forget about that.
Well, that worked out for you. Yeah.
Yeah, lucky is it's too lucky. In fairness, I didn't have that much left, but I wouldn't have gone there quite as fast. I probably would have gone over to pod.
Yeah, because at that point, like you're pretty thin on options when you're going for first check Swamp for hammer of all things.
And also, sorry, I was going to point out that the purple chest having the flippers really surprised me at that point, because we had East Dark World access through Aghanim. That's why I did the Kern jump before doing purple chest. So like, okay, all I have is purple chest. And I also have all of East Dark Death Mountain or East Dark World through Aga. So I'm figuring, okay, we'll just find a mirror over there and then get the boots, and then we'll have that bow on the ledge will be in Logic, and then pod will have 4 items no matter what. But then nope, just purple chest at the slivers anyway.
Yeah, there's actually a clip of us. You guys actually all got the hammer at the exact same time.
Really?
Like
That's
within
really
about
funny.
2 seconds of each other. There's a clip actually which I just posted in the chat.
Oh, geez, I'm going to watch this.
Oh yeah, I recommend this one. It's a great watch back. Yeah.
This is one of a couple of times where we just busted out laughing. We also had a really good laugh at that Sword on Ether tablet.
That ether tablet sorbum is just like, no,
Oh, wow.
that's not okay. You can't do that. And that was before we knew Bombo's tablet too. So we're thinking, what
Yeah.
if the seed actually rolled like the triple worst sword spot? Like, what if?
Yeah, I also love to brag on chat when they post that meme about pedestal being alive for sword and 2 swords on tablets. So I'm like, oh no, am I going to get my karmic justice for saying that seed's literally impossible?
The old Plando special, yeah. I mean, in a sort of sick way, we were hoping for it because it would have been a fantastic seed to see for a tiebreaker. But we'll take 2 out of 3. It's still not bad.
Yeah, that laser bridge sword was so late too. He just could not find the sword on the way anywhere.
I mean, just having a second sword be that late, it's just like, oh, you had to deal with one sword for the whole time, having to fight tough bosses like Colstar with it. At least you had the half magic from the very beginning, which is really nice, and you can kind of open with bombos and fire rod, and it's not too bad. Cane and Ice Palace was funny. The Kakariko having only a pearl, it's like, where are the
Really,
items? Like
King?
from the very beginning, it's just like this is so dry. The early game is like really ugh.
Oh man, no kidding. And that's how this race was ultimately about as close as it was, because you guys are so bottlenecked into this, that, and the other thing. Synced hammers. Dane, you did have to go get that beat Eastern afterwards. Dane did dip Eastern really early, so had to backtrack. So there's a little time lost there. You guys all ended up in ice, then you all ended up in TR. Both Dane and breve, you guys both took a death or 2 in TR. That was well, nerve wracking.
It made
Yeah,
it
can
really
I complain
close.
about
Yeah.
that Ganon for a second? Because first of all, I was doing amazing on that Ganon. Like it was going about as well as it can. But then I got the 1 in 4 no warp turn blue, and then he warps to where I stand for the fire rod torch glitch. So like if either of those didn't happen, I was perfectly fine for that stupid Ganon fight.
Yeah, that one hurt. It was just like, oh no, he got the hug. It's just like you got 8 hearts and Ganon lands on top of you. The telefrag. It was like, oh, this is really close now.
Yeah, and then there was breve, your death to Trinox. Oh man. That hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one from before the lava chest as well was really sad as well, just because I just transformed from Bonnie back into human and got lasered in the face. And
the little delay it does, it gets you with the laser. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was sad. But,
Well, I think I've said it all I want to say about the seed. If you want to go ahead and take us out, Star.
I don't have much else to say. Yeah, this was quite the riot to watch on Restream. We had some great laughs. Just really terrible item placements. That is absolutely hilarious. Tiebreaker seed. Wanted to show for a tiebreaker? We certainly got one. GG's here to all 3 of you. Great race to watch. Great. Congratulations to Dane and prieR for moving on 2 brackets. We wish you both luck. Sadly, this is the end of the road for you, breve, but GG's. Great run through groups this year. 4 and 2. Just
I
well,
won all of my key sanity games and lost every other game, so I don't know. I guess I'll take it. Yeah, good games, and thanks for the fun group. It was, definitely an exciting one.
any last thoughts, Dane and prieR?
Just thanks for putting on this restream, and thanks for the rest of Group P for having fun time in a very difficult group. So looking forward to going to brackets.
Yeah, it was very fun playing with you guys. We all did well, and turns out that small things that decide who wins and who loses. So congrats to all, and thanks for streaming, and taking time to making that that tournament live, and see you in the brackets.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks to the admins.
Hopefully not in the first round. I'm tired of playing you guys.
Yeah, you guys are guaranteed to not get faced off against each other. I think since you're both 4-2, though I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think as long as there's a division winner that's like worse than 4-2, because I don't think I guess if the best worst division winner is 4-2, then we could have me roll the highest second place seed and him roll the lowest first place seed. But I
think
checked.
we have at least one that's like a 3, and I think we have like a 3-3 that might be one of them. But yeah, it's you guys are very unlikely to get paired up. Yeah, at least immediately.
Yeah.
Not sure if they might also make sure to double check to not have same group matchups in round 1. Sometimes that happens. Don't know if they will.
We're going to leave that to Ridley.
Yep. Which, speaking of, this will be it for us here tonight on ZSR. Congrats once again to our runners. Give them all a follow. Dane8373, prieR57, and breve. Also, listen to my co-com Adlor, and to our lovely set of trackers today. We got a full crew. We had Akuhaish, Power Demario, and Tablan tracking. Thank you all. This will be it here for us. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule tomorrow, we will have the Skyward Sword and Riser Co-op Tournament Group Stage, M&M versus Masters of Camouflage. And then over the weekend, we've got our usual set of weekly races, as well as we've got ourselves in the Ocarina of Time Random Settings League semifinals between Zeros and Ryukin, as well as another SSR group match, a couple more SSR matches. And as well as the Link of the Past randomizer showcase. There's actually a showcase tomorrow, Saturday, NMG and Rando Percent. That'll be at 3 Eastern on ZSR Main if you want to check that out. I think OT Weeklies will be back on next week. Perhaps either next week or the week after, I expect. We've been taking a minor break for that. And this will be it for us here. But don't worry, chat. If you guys want to know what brackets will look like for this, we're going to find out right now, because our good old friend and Turdian admin Ridley Dragon is going to do the brackets reveal as soon as we get on over there. So let's go do that. Thanks for watching, all. We'll see you next time.